Allmore getting the assists up. There's good assists, and there's assists that maybe are a little forced. That one may be a little forced.
Yeah, maybe a little forced. Didn't want to maybe feel like, well, I don't want to be the ball hog, as there is the offensive foul on the screen.
Let him play, ref. Let him play.
As Doug Jardine, he's one of our camera guys, number one in your hearts. He had a chance to really do something special tonight. Chose not to. He's just such a nice guy. By the way, if you need some life insurance and stuff taken care of, Doug's your guy. There's a steal. So Imani Barrow with the left-handed dunk.
There you go. Nice response from Barrow. Showing he's got some length. He'd fit in at Kearns to get that length at the top of the zone defense,
right?
Huh?
He could be part of the Brothers of the Quaff.
Yeah.
Extra pass. There's a three off the angle. Won't go. And the rebound taken down by Sorensen.
He'd be borrowing a lot of basketballs in that Kearns defense.
It is week 4 in the top 50. We got a long night ahead of us.
Yeah.
There's a foul to take, and Barrow being extremely aggressive to start this one.
And I like that. It isn't accurate to say he's been passive in this tournament, but it feels like he has not quite really taken the ball into his own hands and looked to really create for himself. And I think tonight early on he's shown that, hey, I'm going to bring my A game, and a chance for him to really, again, go up against good bigs in the post, and he's looking to be aggressive with it.
And Coach Joey Porter, longtime head coach of Layton Christian Academy, has got to feel really glad to see his school go from 1A to 2A, now up to 3A. And we mentioned petition to go to 4A. And somewhere his son saying, Dad, why couldn't we do this earlier? There's on the other hand, there's Johnson misses on the three. That ball tipped out, and then going to be tracked down by Kyle Carley. The sentinel to the backboard, blocked away by Johnson.
Love Houston Johnson coming all the way down, getting a deflection there. Other end.
Q Meza.
He just does that.
Of course, Houston Johnson, the son of former All-American, Mr. Basketball, and then former freshman All-American and the freshman of the year, Britton Johnson. I believe served his LDS mission on the Houston mission, or maybe why he's named Houston. If I'm doing it all off the top of my head if that's where he served. I'm pretty certain. If he joined us in week 2, I thought it was Britton's son. I thought he looked like him, and he got the 31. I was able to confirm. I should have asked Britton when he was up here, but took care of some other business.
Britton is in the house tonight.
He is. Of course, Houston goes to Crimson Cliffs. So the free throw good, and it's 8-6 early on. The three on the angle won't go for Jackson Johnson. Now on the push, Barrow try to send that one ahead, tipped out of bounds by Q Meza. So checking in for Q is Easton Duft. Strong take and finish there by Kyle Carley.
I was kind of waiting to see where they were going to go. You had Barrow, who was outside. Dent was playing outside, and Carley able to just find the driving lane and get a nice finish right at the rim.
Cross court to Johnson. Not going to work it on the angle. Now to the corner. Jackson sends it out. And then there's a foul to Barrow as he cut off Johnson on the drive.
Yeah, not much disagreements there from Solomane. And that time he's trying to get to the spot quicker than the attack of Johnson, but comes right into him and acknowledges, yeah, you're good call, right call.
So Jackson Johnson sends it over to Houston Johnson as he gives that one up. Stuck in the corner. Throw it inside. Double team comes, and there's a foul there to Gillespie's.
Tell you, we're having a lot of foul calls here tonight.
All of a sudden, you go to a three-man crew, and things get picked up. At one point in time, in our younger days, I was begging for three-man crews because I thought it would help with flow. Maybe we don't need a halo in high school basketball. Atwater on the long two. No, rebound to Johnson. Jackson lays that one up and in.
That's why you always follow shots, right? And a beautiful job by Johnson there. Coming underneath, staying with it. Able to capitalize with the two off the finish.
And Reese Dent fouled on the other end. It'll be 1 for 2 free throws for Reese Dent.
Of course, the clock stays running through foul calls here in the top 50. So the points per game going to take a bit of a hit as we're losing minutes of playing time.
Precious moments.
Yeah, yeah.
And not the dolls or the coloring books. It's the free throw good there for Reese Dent. Remember, we do have a under 10 media timeout per half. Then on the drive on the baseline, Atwater tried to send that one out.
Kind of got caught in the
How
air.
about the extra arm length there from Johnson?
Yeah.
Gillespie's got stuck on his hip and then on his back. There's the bucket there.
And how about Johnson? Look, if this is a high school game, he might be called for an offensive foul on that one. But how about showing his aggressive nature, recognizing going up against a smaller man?
And Giorgio Gillespie's picking up where he left off in week 2.
Now remember, Giorgio twisted his ankle either in week 1 or week 2. It was early on. Boy, he looks healthy. He's firing again here tonight.
So inbound into Jackson Johnson. Goes inside to Houston. Houston will fall away. Some contest there. And there's a shooter's roll and a large contingency here for the Johnsons. Do you think they live out of town?
Yeah.
The whole reunion just below us.
Right?
It's nice.
Maybe the loudest cheers we've had all year in the top 50 here.
I got to tell you what I've really enjoyed, and we had this last year, and I wonder how it changed. And they allowed last year parents weren't allowed.
Yeah, yeah.
This year they did allow a crowd, and we haven't had what we will get in November.
Yeah.
And
Hasn't
December.
been a lot of jeers. Fortunately, the parents have kind of understood what this meant to be as well. They've kind of toned it down a little bit.
Well, hopefully they're in on the emails.
They have to be, right?
They better be.
They have to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And hopefully they're reading them. Their emails sent every week, giving guys, hey, here's what we're getting feedback from the coaches. We know we're watching the stream right now, and I've really enjoyed reading them.
It's been the only emails Dusty pays attention to.
That's about right. That's not true.
That's not true.
There goes Reese Dent. I don't think my business partner is hearing that on my full-time gig. Is Reese Dent puts a dent in this one and gets a 2+1.
Yeah, I didn't think about that. My bad.
It's okay. They know. Dusty runs the ship, man. Media timeout, and we'll take it with them. You're watching the 2022 Utah Top 50 on KSLSports.com.
From the Food Nanny. I recently got a My Style checking account. It's a perfect blend of rewards and convenient benefits. I love that sound. And now My Style checking has new features like mobile phone protection, 24/7 telehealth, and my favorite, restaurant discounts. Get the only checking account you truly need and see what's new with My Style at macu.com.
No, it's not Mariano Rivera coming in. It's Dusty and Dane coming in hot on a Monday night.
Best entrance for a reliever in baseball history.
By far.
I know a lot of people like Trevor Hoffman.
Yeah.
It was good.
Hells Bells.
It was good.
I will say the closer for the Mets, it's getting pretty good.
It's going up.
It's getting
you know what was
good.
I don't know if you watched the game last night, but there's a walk-up song for the Braves. Same song while Diaz was on the mound.
Oh,
and it was
really?
like ultimate confusion. It was awesome.
It's like, wait, how am I supposed to feel about this?
Yeah, exactly. You can kind of look around like, what?
I just think, and the way that they've totally just said, okay, we're going to make it part of the production of the game.
Right.
I've said this before, if I was a closer, I would do the Goldberg entrance from the WCW, have him pound on the wall, come out, want to smoke. on the angle that 3 from Sorensen won't go, taken by Atwater.
Of course, if you played Nebraska, they wouldn't let you do the smoke. You'd do it anyway.
Yes.
Yes.
Just give me a fire hydrant. Or, you know what I'm going for.
Yeah. I just need a mascot to sneak in an extinguisher.
That's one of my favorite stories.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
The extinguisher. Like, no smoke. We're the home team. Gotcha. Smoke hasn't worked at the U for decades. But as the shot won't go, and the rebound taken by Johnson.
Yeah, I like the look there. Trying to work around the screen. I saw Nathan, hit some big buckets last week for the Caps. That one just off.
Atwater gets to just inside the junction for the J, and
good to see the sophomore there and the Davis Dart. You talk about all the graduation for the Darts. He's going to have a lot of opportunity this year for Coach Sims to try to get that offense going of the Darts as they replace a lot of talent from last year.
Well, as you know, is that you're going to be able to, you're going to have some freedom to play the way you want to play under Chad Sims. You know, Jacob Bigler will tell you that, and some other guys he's had over the years. That hey, Coach Sims will let you be you as long as it's not hurting the team.
Yeah,
you know. It's amazing that he's a sophomore. And remember Rex Sunderland was a sophomore and playing a lot.
Yeah.
And,
well, I mean, remember Rex shows up as off-season of his sophomore year at the Powder League. It's like, people know he's a high school player, right? Didn't matter.
Didn't care. A little mid-range game was going to be there no matter what.
Right. Good defense there by Carson Smith, taking that away. There's Papa Smith in the house tonight to watch his son.
Yeah.
Coming up with a steal.
And that ball goes away. Here comes the Tropics on the other end. I thought we were at the Powder League for a second. As Johnson fouled from behind by Sorensen.
I wonder if they're going to play music when we're at the Vivint Arena, right? It's a big stage. The Jazz do.
Yeah, of course they will. Maybe they'll do an entrance and do the whole thing.
Yeah, we should.
Yeah. Hey, win in Rome.
Right. Want to make it feel big time? Get out the flamethrowers and everything.
Yeah, you go to LaVell Edwards Stadium right now, you're getting the fire dancers, man. Seen that? The baton guys?
Yeah.
Are you talking about the fire come out the top of the backboard? The Ohio entrance?
Yeah, don't they still do that?
Mm-hmm.
Been a while.
I think you went with me last time you went, right? We sat up behind there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that gets you sweating.
Started sweating, yeah.
Come the other way. Q Mazet, send that one cross court.
Kind of surprised Q didn't take that shot.
Yeah.
Tap the brakes.
You see a kid that's reading the emails throughout the week.
Yeah.
Is Felder going to put that one up and in?
Dodge, duck, dip, dive, and dodge. And Brock Felder able to hit it from 12. You see Golestis here. Ooh, miscommunication there. That's the hard thing when you look at the top 50. You know, you got players that this is their fourth week playing together, which, you know, gives you some time, but not a ton of time. And Dowdy that time trying to cut to the rim, loses it. There's deflection here and the foul being called.
I love the aggressiveness when you see from the Tropics jumped out, and now they've got to just kind of get it all back here, a little bit out of that flow. And that's what this whole 7 weeks is about, right? It's about them finding their flow to go into the regular season of high school basketball. As we'll get our camera set, I promise. Just taking a second.
Well, one of the interesting things when you talk about that coming into tonight, of course, week 4, 6 teams in the top 50, 4 of them sitting at 2-1. A lot of parity on the rosters this year as Q Mesa making the free throw there. Good look for Smith. Got his feet set. Just off the mark.
There's the other way. Mesa sending that one into Felder. Brock back out to Q to the corner. 3 on the way. And got it.
Boy, big 3. Love the unselfish ball movement there. And Zach Robinson, who's had a really good top 50, able to nail it. Viewmont Viking with the tray.
On the other end, out south to Golessis. And now Giorgio on the take. Sends back out. Barrow from way outside. So Monty, I thought I might have had that. Now I got a baseball pass on the other end. Felder able to get it. The fall away won't go. And
Baseball.
the rebound still loose.
That was football, Dusty. Get him some shoulder pads, man.
Hey, you know my feeling. You and I did a lot of Wasatch Academy basketball games. And there's a certain guy that played Wasatch Academy. It's now at Baylor via BYU. That I've said it from the beginning. If Caleb Lohner wants to play professional sport, and I'm not saying it's not basketball, it is definitely football.
He's got tight end written all over him, doesn't he?
Yeah, and so does Felder.
Yeah.
Football coach, but hey, man, what do we got to do to get you in football pads today? Out on the angle, Q Meza, 4-3.
That is mid-season Q right there. And even the length of Barrow can't defend the shot is Q doing what he does best.
Barrow again outside.
Boy, 2 looks, and they haven't missed by much.
Just haven't been able to get down, go down. Send out for 3. Lind got it. And now the outside shot falling for the Tropics.
Love the vision there. You have Smith who comes down to try to help on the drive, and the extra kick out, able to get Lind to knock it down, and now you see the Tropics starting to separate.
Send to the corner. 3 lips out. Rebound to Felder.
And right now it's exchanging 3s for 0s, and is what has really been the push here.
Oh, nice fall away and a timeout taken by the Caps. And this is a 30-second timeout. They want to talk things over. We'll be right back. You're watching the 2022 Utah Top 50.
Hi, I'm Lizzie from the Food Nanny. I recently got a My Style checking account. It's a perfect blend of rewards and convenient benefits. I love that sound. And now My Style Checking has new features like mobile phone protection, 24/7 telehealth, and my favorite, restaurant discounts. Get the only checking account you truly need and see what's new with My Style at macu.com.
Inside of 2.5 left in the first half. Dusty Litster and Dane Stewart with you here at Top 50. As, man, the Tropics got that offense flowing. Went a little dry for a minute, but now they've got it up and going. As I think someone's cell phone's plugged in.
Yeah. Will you please silence your ringers?
It's got to be those millennials. It's on the run. It's Lind. Give it up to Johnson. Houston at the rim.
Wow.
Blocked away.
That was a 4-on-1, Dusty. Great job kind of holding down the defense there.
Griffin Dowdy, the Weber Warrior, able to get that. Now about the +1 on the other end for Logan Sorensen.
Yeah. Look, we will talk about Jagger when we get there. But Logan Sorensen, that's going to be a formidable duo in the post. And I love the big man running the floor there, absorbing the contact and getting the finish.
And bring it inside the key. Little pull-up stays in there for Coleman Atwater.
He's having maybe his best game of the top 50. This first half, he's been really impressive.
His most aggressive, too.
Yes. And it's been that mid-range game, right?
3
Good
on
close
the
out
way.
there by him, too.
Dowdy can't get that one to fall. Reese Dent knocked that out of bounds. Remember, no over the back. No loose ball fell on that rebound.
And like a veteran, you heard the shot on the closeout by Allen.
Oh, okay.
I'm just saying, right?
Yeah.
That's what you do.
You got to communicate.
Yes.
The ABCs of me. Send it out to Johnson on the drive. Houston at the rim, blocked away by Dent. Come back quickly the other way. Stripped away by Q Meza. Tracked down by Burgess. He goes inside. Sorensen along the baseline. That's a tight pass there to Reese Dent, and good hands there by Atwater.
How about the work of Barclay there, helping to force Sorensen underneath the rim, really took away the shot.
Yeah. I love the defense on the other end, too. Played solidly.
Yeah.
I believe it was Nathan Johnson that had that steal. Into Reese Dent with 20 seconds left in the half. Dent able to get away for a minute from Atwater. Tipped that one inside.
Barclay
nice
again.
Hands.
Yeah.
Come back the other way. Q float it. No. Tipped around. Tracked down with 7 seconds. Atwater along the baseline. Reverse it. Blocked away by Dowdy. And that will do it for the first half. As we go to the break, it is the Tropics 35, the Caps 23. You are watching the 2022 Utah Top 50.
I'm Lizzie from the Food Nanny. I recently got a My Style checking account. It's the perfect blend of rewards and convenient benefits. I love that sound. And now My Style checking has new features like mobile phone protection, 24/7 telehealth, and my favorite, restaurant discounts. Get the only checking account you truly need and see what's new with My Style at macu.com.
Hey, welcome back. Start of the second half. Dusty Litster and Dane Stewart with you here at the Utah Top 50. Remind you, in a couple of weeks, we'll be having the championship rounds at Vivint Arena. So excited about that, and also how awesome with the Jazz to help bring that about.
I'm excited to be in the broadcast suite, to have full catered meals.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, it's just going to be fantastic.
Yeah. And plus, it's a little bit of security stuff at our house. Yeah, don't worry. Maybe you like it or don't like it. No bowler can take over these spots here as Felder lays that in.
Good inside out. I mean, obviously we talked about some of the three-point shooting of the Tropics to really help to create some separation. But going back to the well, Felder on the inside, he's just been a mismatch really for pretty much every team in this showcase.
Barrow left that a little sharp off the backboard. It's just interesting to see how different the Tropics look tonight. Now, granted, I mean, these are essentially all-star teams kind of put together, and week to week you're going to figure out who they are as Felder pulls for three and lips out. But the way that the Tropics offensively kind of got stifled last week was just surprising with the talent and how well they've played together in the previous weeks.
And I think, look, you're going to have those off nights. I think anyone who plays basketball will tell you, right? It's why it's hard to go undefeated as Dent gets the tip in here. But, you have those off nights, and better to have it now than in 3 weeks. And, look, I love the way they've come out tonight. They've been very aggressive, have found the bottom of the net, and playing really well. Nate Bendall in the house tonight, former Aggie.
Yeah, a bunch of guys just come roaming around as the three is good for, I knew it is, Zach Robinson, young man out of Viewmont. Especially we were talking about Alex Jensen off air earlier.
Yeah.
He is Mr. Viewmont. As Dent stripped away by Felder, he's able to come up with the loose ball. Duffed on the run, little ball fake, and got it.
Well, I thought maybe he was hearing footsteps behind that little kind of no look. I thought it was going to disrupt the shot, but
kind of a little bit of ball fake before he went the layup too.
Yeah.
Think his older sisters ever tracked him down when he was younger? He was used to that.
I would guess he's probably
definitely
accustomed to that. Yeah.
It's like when you hear Reggie Miller tell stories about going up against Cheryl as a kid. There was a block by Felder. Just took that fall away as Lind left that too short. Barrow with the board. Here comes Dent. Little pirouette after Duff and able to finish.
Nice job there by Reese Dent. Athletic take to the rim. Wasatch had a couple kids in this last year and again this year. Coach Ballstead, he's got some experience coming back for the Wasps this year.
Now, see if it's a different year for them in Region 9. As Giorgio Gillespie's blocked away by Johnson.
And really, in my mind, that's what makes the Tropics so difficult. I mean, you get past Felder, and then you have Johnson to deal with. There's just a lot of length.
And mobile length.
Yes. And length that'll shoot it. I mean, we've seen Jace Johnson hit threes. We've seen Felder take a couple in this game. Good luck.
And Barrow can't get that one to fall. Nice find. Yeah, put Solomani at the line. Or is it Solomane?
I would say Solomane, but I'm not positive on that.
I was trying to go with I was trying to church it up a little bit.
Yeah.
Like Joe Dierte, Soleimani.
See, and I use my Idaho linguistic abilities. So I go Solomane.
All right, we'll go both. One of the least we were right. So, and then it'll be like on Mason Bettinger. And it was like Bettinger. No, Bettinger. No. Bettinger. Yep. Okay. And I'm still trying to remember if that was right or not because we've said it so many different ways. We asked him when we gave him the award last year, which one is it? And then it was like halfway through the game last year, he was like, hey, am I still saying what he told us to say it?
We'll see Mason. Of course, his teammate Jackson Smith as well.
Robinson, go back over to Duff, 15 and a half left. Drop it in to
look at the help.
Johnson, comes drop it down from the wing. That was Sorensen, get his hand on that. Q Meza terminates it in the painted area, sends out to Duff for three. No. Felder can't come away with the board as it's taken down strongly by Sorensen.
I was going to say, that's a really good, strong rebound by Sorensen.
On a rocker, give it up to Johnson, who gets the bucket. That's Nate Johnson from Highland High School.
You talk about unselfish plays. That's the kind of plays, right? I mean, Johnson's kind of a trail coming into the paint there late. Little turnaround, recognize he's alone, and able to hand off for the finish.
Let's take and finish there by Q Meza.
Tell you want to get out to Cypress this season for basketball. Two reasons. One, very little time left in that iconic gym. And two, to watch Meza and his teammates in what most people are thinking is a top 3 team in the state this year.
They'll be in the mix in 6A. How weird does that sound to say?
I mean, here they had a chance to beat Corner in the quarters last year.
Yep.
Of course, that team lost in the championship. No, semis.
Lost in the championship.
Yeah.
Corner lost to AF at the championship game.
My bad. I kept thinking PG got to the championship, but they lost in the semi to AF.
Yeah, crazy game.
Yes.
Yeah. Jeff Gardner still has a blood vessel that hasn't quite come back yet from that one. There's a block at the rim.
So does Coach McAllister.
Just confusion everywhere. Is Hugh Meza, nice find inside. Interesting. He's got that
That's a let him play thing, right?
Cale Barclay. He'll get that one to go. And again, no one's grumbling in the arena. That's what's so fun is come back the other way and Sorensen lays that one in.
Would not be the case in home gyms.
Even in the sophomore game. That's what kind of was getting at. Is like, you get the sophomore games, and that's usually the most testy game of the day. Coaching staff, everybody in those sophomore JV games.
I've seen some crazy stuff.
Yeah. I was texting with someone last week that went to a rivalry game around the state. Won't mention which one. And he said, I'm new to this area. I just just moved here about a year ago. Didn't know this was that big of a rivalry. And I messaged him, it's a rivalry in everything, including who gets the best produce at Harmon's. Dane knows which one I'm talking about.
Yes, I do.
On the other end, Barrow with the block. Oh, trying to rifle that one in, tipped out of bounds. We'll stay here with the Caps.
Atwater, we've talked about his offense, but they're able to get the deflection defensively as well. Showing both end of the floor effort there for the sophomore Dart. Well, that's a tough take.
Come back the other way. Atwater blocked away by Barrow, but we'll stay here with the Tropics.
Tough shot there. Really kind of gets caught with momentum being carried to the basket. Defended well, and Barrow with the denial.
Atwater on the angle. This is Barclay.
Sorensen has a handful of rebounds tonight.
How about Barrow again from the outside, so Amadi can't find it.
And the thing is, he's not missing by much. I mean, they're not bad looks.
Is the board and bucket there for Sorensen.
Of course, at Leighton Christian, you have that really wide side in the auditorium, but very tight behind the backboards. It's a very different shooting arena here for Solomane.
I think it'd be somewhat similar. I mean, you get the church end on the east
Well, it depends
side.
on what end you're shooting on.
That's true, too.
Right? Because you have the auditorium on the other end.
Yeah, you're right. There's a bucket on this end for the Tropics.
The stage.
Stage, yeah.
Let's be honest, the intros here are not what they are there.
No.
Yeah.
Remember last time I was there is Giorgio Gillespie's. Last time I was there, I mean, this is B.J. Porter, Manny Hendricks. I mean, that was a dunk contest in the pregame war bunk.
That's what Kearns used to be, right? People would show up early just to see the pregame.
That was a run, wasn't it, for Cosby with all those guys? And how about this one? Nope, Barclay. His credit is good as he gets a little jump hook to go.
But I see what you did there. Yeah. By the way, one of the things I love about the Kearns story, most people probably don't know this. I don't know if they want me sharing this or not. There was even skepticism amongst certain teachers around those players' abilities, and to see them go and play high-level D1 ball and now play professional.
Yeah, and get degrees.
Yeah, get degrees from major universities.
But remember,
awesome.
I think most people forget the nickname of those teams, the Lost Boys. There's that long two falls for Giorgio Gillespie.
It was never our nickname for them.
Never, because they were found.
I'll tell you this, they left a lot of coaches and players scratching their heads when they walked out of gyms.
I just remember Bushman. Yeah, not to spend too much. He played here. Bushman, he bet that first time, and he was like that first push of all that.
Well, Quoth played here.
Yeah, Majock.
Right.
And Kerr. So that goes out of bounds, and that will be our first under 10 timeout. As we'll be right back. You're watching the 2022 Utah Top 50. So welcome back in, Dusty Lister and Dane Stewart. And I want to remind you that our coverage is brought to you by the Athletic Republic, where any age, any level, basketball is a physically demanding sport. By focusing on acceleration, agility, and power, we can give players in every position the tools they need to be more successful on game day against the Athletic Republic. We want to thank them for their support.
Yeah, and Athletic Republic has multiple locations scattered throughout the valley, so whatever you might be interested in, wherever you are, they've got something close and accessible to you. One, to your point, Dusty, thank them for sponsoring here the Top 50.
And coming back the other way after that miss, 50-41. Get that score matched up inside the building. As, a little clear out and then a little hook shot falls in.
Carson Smith, I think.
Yeah, it was Carson Smith.
Now, how about doing that amongst the trees, too? You have Felder coming over to help. I really expect Carson to have a big breakout year this year for the Red Hawks at Bountiful. Multi-year contributor. Started last year for Bountiful. I think you're going to see him do some big things.
How about the suddenness there from Felder?
Yeah, and despite Barrow collapsing down on him, Brock knowing, look, man, I got more strength and got a good finish here.
Well, at this level, you'll see the guy waste a step or a movement. There wasn't a wasted movement. He got it straight up. There's a nice steal. Thought I can go other way for an easy two. The rip misses the bunny, and the opportunity goes by the wayside there for Carly as Atwater comes away with the rebound.
Man, did all the work and just too strong on the attempt.
Felder, 4-3.
Feeling it.
The way of the fist, and it's a 12-point lead.
Man. I don't know, Dusty, when do you want to go down to Parowan? You just tell me.
We'll take a look at the preseason schedule. I just don't need Curtis Conde telling me all the places to eat down there. He could be watching, that's why I say that. Come back the other way. Barrow through the contact, count the bucket.
Nice.
And I only kid, Curtis is a good friend of the program, good friend of ours, and currently living in God's country, also known as Carbon County. Where somehow the best basketball coaches that town has had in so many years is living across the street but not being the coach of the team. But that's neither here nor there.
Not that Dusty has strong opinions on it.
And not that I care.
Yeah, because if you watch our shows, you know Dusty doesn't. He really doesn't care about Carbon.
No, at all. There's 3 on the way. Doubt he can't get it to go.
Ooh, I thought Duff was going to take that.
Leaves it for Felder. And does not find his second 3. Back the other way, and Doughty fouled by Atwater. Get used to that. Those two both in Region 1.
Yeah, interesting, and I like Doughty there attacking. I'm so accustomed to him really taking advantage of the threes and kind of the pull-up. And with Felder coming over there, trying to be aggressive, drawing the contact, but can't capitalize.
Lind, pass up the 3, give it to Duff along the baseline. Had that one poked away, maybe from behind, or maybe just lost it. And the officials say he lost it. as we will go back down the floor with the Caps. Again, first of 3 games tonight. Coming up next is the Oakland Americans versus the Dallas Chaparrals. Let's just go with the Dallas Chaps. As Denton, little mid-range J won't fall.
Good help there. Tell you, Sorensen, he's been active tonight. He's had a nice game.
Felder, nobody home.
That's the fun thing about this league. I mean, you look at the scoreboard now, it's an 11-point difference. I mean, you're 2 possessions away from being right back in this thing. Mm-hmm. I mean, these games, you don't see a lot of them get out of control as Sorensen just has that one missed.
Oh, nice nifty pass inside. That didn't go past us, Carly. Nice find in the bucket there for the Caps. 9-point game.
That one nearly required some braces for Sorensen. That pass coming right up in the chops, and Logan ready for it. We got a nice little finish.
Oh, nice reverse there by Jackson Johnson. Going to be a fun year.
Yeah.
With the Alta Hawks. Nice baseline pass. Work it out. It's Johnson for 3 and short. Been a night where a lot of the shots have been short.
Of course, we're playing at altitude.
It's all about the red blood cells. You have enough of those red blood cells. Tebow Samuel is okay with the altitude. So on the other end in the corner is Lind.
He's playing at an altitude of about 4.
An excitement level of 19. Well, Old Candlestick was under, which was amazing because it's not like it was on the ocean. 3 in the corner, won't go. Rebound taken now on the run.
Numbers.
And there's Barrow with the left-handed dunk. And then a foul on Gillespie's on the inbound, trying to get an extra possession off the steal. So Barrow went with the Sean Bradley left-handed jam, if you watched that little video yesterday.
That's where I really feel like Barrow's at his best, right? When he can run the floor.
Yeah.
He's been able to take advantage of that here a couple times the last few possessions.
Johnson lost it, sends back out. Barclay, Euro, no. Oh, man. 2 fancy passes there from Kyle Carly.
Couple nice assists tonight.
Yeah.
Love the dimes.
A nifty gifty.
It is nifty.
Where are the turtles? Send out to Johnson. Little junction extended, no. As it has gone cold for the Tropics. 2:45 left in a 7-point game.
And here come the Caps.
Giorgio sent out. And a 3 is short. Mentions been that way tonight.
Yeah.
Q, float it, no.
Man, where's the Dusty call? Contact, no whistle?
It's October. It's inside. And don't look now, it's a 5-point game.
Yeah. And really, we've seen the Caps get out on the run to create some offense. Rebounding and defense have helped lead to that, and now a timeout.
Timeout on the floor. We'll take it, too. We'll be right back. Watch the Utah Top 50.
Hi, I'm Lizzie from the Food Nanny. I recently got a My Style checking account. It's the perfect blend of rewards and convenient benefits. I love that sound. And now My Style checking has new features like mobile phone protection, 24/7 telehealth, and my favorite, restaurant discounts. Get the only checking account you truly need and see what's new with My Style at macu.com.
Dusty Lister, Dane Stewart with you here. Final moments, 2:01 left.
You know, these caps, the second half, they're reminding me of my favorite college football team, the University of Idaho Vandals. They're back. See what I did there?
I did, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
1:45 left. Q Mesa sent up top to Lind on the drive. Lind in the lane, float it. No.
Offense going dry, Dusty.
Barrow with the board. A chance to make it a one-possession game.
Look, yeah, I say look for Ulysses take it to the rim. Wow.
A loud slap.
Oh.
On the drive, block from behind, and officials say no, hand on the ball.
That was a good call. Look, I love the take by Ulysses, but how about the job of Houston Johnson reaching around, getting a hand right on top of the basketball. Official all over it. Nailed it.
I want to remind you with Athletic Republic recovery, preparing for the next workout begins the moment the last workout ends. Athletes have control over the recovery process at the Athletic Republic. We'll find out who recovered well from last week is on the drive. No contact, no call. Cooking on the other end. Carly had that one slapped away. Reese Dent saves it. No, he did not. And we're going to stop the clock with 1:12 left. Try to make sure we're on the same page with the clock on here in the gym. But as Preston will get that figured out, as 1:12 left, we'll get it synced up here at 58 seconds. You see on the clock is unofficial. So right now it's at 1:10. Once you get to 58, we'll have it synced. Here's Q Mesa. The full court pressure on. Atwater sends ahead to Barclay. He held on instead of firing that into Dent. As we go inside of a minute, down to 59 seconds. Well, there's a foul. And now another timeout. So we'll take it with them. You're watching the Utah Top 50. So 59 seconds left. We've got Barclay at the line, one free throw for 2 points. Actually, no. Yeah, we do go 1 for 2 still, if I remember right. And the first is good. And there's only well, no, 1-1.
I was waiting because we've seen kind of both situations unfold.
It's like the mercy rule clock in football in the second half. Depends on who's running it. As come up the floor, Gillespie send to the corner. 3 on the way. Got a great look. Just can't get it to drop. Dent with the board. Sends back out Giorgio Gillespie's for 3.
There you go. Boy, I was hoping Carson was going to hit that. Again, we saw him miss a 3 a couple minutes ago and kind of hung his head. And was really hoping, him to hit that shot, get that confidence going again. But the offensive board, love the kick out to Ulysses. And it's back to a 4-point game here.
So 61-57. Back at the other end is Atwater. Young man from Davis High School. And he hits the first. Gets them both. Here comes Giorgio up the floor. Inside of 40 seconds. Did not go to Carly. Going to keep it on the drive and then draws the call. With 30 seconds left, we'll put Giorgio Gillespie's at the line.
Boy, live, I thought Q did a pretty good job of kind of reaching back. I don't know if they called contact there on the body, but the foul called and opportunity for Gillespie.
Left the first one short. And got the second. Quickly ahead is Q Meza. And then the clock will stop at 25 seconds. So Q will go to the line in a 5-point game. And he can make it a 3-possession game with another made free throw. And he does. So that should do it. Carly on the run. And we've gotten whistle happy down the stretch here. Feels like November.
Or February.
Or February. Yeah, definitely February. But, end of November, we kick our far.
Yeah.
We put football to bed, sadly.
Go eat some turkey.
Yeah.
And then come back
to basketball.
Yeah.
As that free throw won't go. The board to Johnson. And he leads out to Barclay. And the dunk. For good measure.
That's really just for statistical purposes at this point. Helping shooting averages.
And that'll do it as the Tropics bounce back from the loss last week and improve their record with another one there from Lind. Final score, Flint Tropics 69, Washington Caps 58. Dane, your final thoughts and selection of a player of the game?
Look, I love the energy from the Caps coming back. We talked about they were always kind of in that 10-12 range. They got back to within 4, but and just not quite enough. And look, tip of the cap to the Tropics, hitting free throws, making plays late, able to hold off the Caps in their big run. I'm going to go with Felder tonight. I thought defensively in the paint, he was big. Obviously hit some early shots for them as well. Nice offensive night, but his presence in the paint I thought was the difference. I'll go with Brock Felder.
Again, our final score, the Flint Tropics 69, the Washington Caps 58. Our player of the game, Brock Felder out of Parowan High School. And again, I want to remind you, we'll have all of the Utah Top 50 games right here on KSLSports.com, including the championship night at Vivint Arena on October 25th. For Dane Stewart and Kimball Bigelow, I'm Dusty Lister. Thanks for joining us and watching the Utah Top 50 on KSLSports.com. And welcome back into Utah Top 50, the Lifetime Activity Center. Dusty Lister and Dane Stewart. Our second matchup of 3 today, the Oakland Americans and the Dallas Chaps. As we got a lob inside, and Cox can't get to that one. And the loose ball picked up by Hansen. And back down the floor we go with the Chaps. Hansen sent out to Skank. Oh, Hunter Skank. He was our player of the night last week and starts off strong here tonight.
I really love what we've seen from Skank last week. Obviously had a big night, but I think we've seen him start to be really aggressive, looking for the right opportunity. I don't want to say looking for a shot because he's still very much involved with the team.
Yeah.
But it feels like he's really started to just elevate his game here in the top 50 this year.
Oh, Preston just got to make sure he gets our clock right here. The clock is going to continue to run until we hit the 10-minute mark. Got it fixed. As Cox will pull off the angle, a little strong. Ball tipped up in the air and tracked down by Hansen.
Preston's in like his 5th year of his internship. Maybe this is why he's still a student. Can't figure it out.
Too nice to him as Hansen knocks down the 3. That's a young man. I'm really excited to see him continue to be healthy.
Yep.
Another year in the system with Corey Mullaney and what he can do in Region 1.
Yeah, I completely agree. And, we've seen him in this top 50 really ball out. I mean, just have some big nights, and he's got a bright future ahead of him. Obviously, D1 opportunities for him, but man, he just continues to get better and better week in, week out.
So it's Skank bring the ball up the floor. Ball up top and didn't get it cleanly, but able to get all the way to the rim and finish. Mitch Jepson.
Nah, man, that's just how you draw it up. I mean, you let that ball go through, you get the defense out of position, and then you use your athleticism to the rim. Come on,
what
man.
am I doing?
That's next level.
It's a basketball level version of the Fumblerooski. What am I thinking?
They don't teach that level of play at Carbon. No offense to the Dinos. That's a 5A play right there, Dusty.
You're right. I never saw Matt Jukes or Kyle Wilson do that. That was one of the things that they were going to do. Or Jan Jorgensen when he played basketball. I love it. They always say he was a wrestler. Jan wrestled one season. As that jumper is there for Peter Broadbent.
Tried it once, thought the better of it, moved on.
He won a state championship.
I'm just teasing.
Yeah. They always say he was a state championship wrestler. I'm like, in 1 year. Luckily for the state of Utah, he didn't wrestle more. As there is a steal, and now the run out. Apeth Jang leaves it out for three. Broadbent can't get it. Cox has the board, sticks with it. He just wanted the +1. Chris Cox out of Cottonwood with the bucket and the foul. Coach Miller would be excited to see his development getting into next month.
Yeah, that was a Cottonwood team. Really burst on the scene this year. Maybe peaked a little early. Struggled to maintain that momentum, but you look at a guy like Christopher and what he can bring a piece for the Colts should be really good.
A shot a little too strong there. Now on the run out, Apeth Jang dribbles through and has one ripped away from him. That
Numbers.
Paul Beebe with the steal, and Hansen tried to leave down a little fancy. Gets in the hands of Skank, and Hunter doesn't get the shooter's roll tonight. The board, now the run out. Good to see Brock Mendoza back out. He missed the last couple of weeks. As Workman gives that up the Broadbent inside the lane and hits the J.
I really think last week Broadbent had a really nice game, and he's had a nice start to this one. I feel like he's a young man that, we're going to see big things. You have him and Gillespie there for the Eagles. It can be a sleepy program this year in Region 6.
That 6 has got some interesting stuff happening there.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, always going to be good. Apeth Jang. Beautiful find there, big fella. Brock Mendoza with the dunk.
And I'll tell you, Coach Jones at Highland, watch out for the Rams. Yeah. He's got college-level experience, bringing that to the high school. And, that's a program you might want to keep an eye on, too.
As Beatty knocks down the three. Talking about the young man out of Farmington. Year 2 in 6A for the Phoenix. No Colin Chandler. We'll find out what they're like there in Region 1. Gets the block there on Mendoza. We'll see that during the winter. And runs the floor on the other end, and Cox got him off his feet. And again, what I also enjoy here in the fall, if that's the winter, we're already separating people, trying to break things up.
They know, right? They know.
They know now. I think they know in the winter, but you're just a little more amped up.
Yeah. Well, some of that might be the environment, too, right? You get fans that amplify that sort of a thing.
What do we like to do? We like to know the why. There's layers to all this stuff.
It's like an onion. You just got to peel it back. Good look inside there.
And someday a documentary will be done. Apeth Jang sends it out at 3, and Dusty will watch it. As that 3 is short there from Charlie Smith. Oh, nice move there by Skank. Hunter left that one short. Rebound to Broadbent. Mid-range jumper from Mendoza won't go. Beatty tracks down. Quickly hit.
Chudy.
That won't drop there for Chudianosike. As Broadbent leaves it back. Apeth Jang off on the 3. Oh, and Chris Brooks with the board and then the dunk. As the Americans make it a 1-point game.
Yeah, Cox. Help him bring him back here. Nice take there by Chris. Had a really good week 1. Starting out week 4 with a bang.
Beatty straight away, too strong. The board and now the run. Apith-Cheng. Defenders with their backs turned and can't finish.
Good take, just strong off the rim. Here comes Skank.
Skank can't make the miss hurt. Beatty with the board. Second chance opportunity here for the Shaps. And, hard take, the bump and the bucket. As David Locke would say, the hoop and the harm in a 4-point game.
And you saw that head go back and to the left there and still able to finish.
It's a magic swing there. Broadbent can't get it. This is why everyone's like, hey, are you guys really going to do the game of the week this week together? No, Moose took it away.
We don't get to do state tournament games
I
anymore.
know.
So, well, not for football, at least.
Yeah.
How about Beatty showing a little bit of range there?
It's
huh?
two of them.
Yeah.
Oh.
I don't know how Coach Walkenhurst might feel about that come the regular
Yeah,
season,
Casey's
but
sitting
you
there.
know, get him in now, Paul.
I'll tell you, the way he'll do it is very calmly. As he puts down his energy drink, no, you're not shooting that. Picks it back up.
I don't know. I don't recall Coach Walkenhurst having a lot of calm conversations when he doesn't like a shot.
Officials, I want to say about players. Maybe right, players, maybe a little bit more.
Yeah, I love Casey.
Yeah,
but I've
I
seen
was
him.
giving the benefit of the doubt.
I've seen him get intense.
You know who coached Casey since he was a young kid? Brian Alfrey.
Really?
Yeah, West
I did
Jordan.
not know that.
Yeah, he's a West Jordan kid.
I didn't know that, but I didn't realize that Alfrey had that kind of tenure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow.
I think he had him in bantams, is what you told me. All the way back then. As I say, all the way back then. I think Casey and us are all about within 3 years of each other.
Look, Coach, I know you're going to watch this. You're not as old as you look, man. You look a lot young. If that's the case, you look really young. So
in our heads, absolutely, especially in mine. Yeah. There's a foul on that drive. We'll have the 1 for 2 free throws here for Chris Cox. But again, KSLSports.com, your home for online championships during the high school sports season. As Dane mentioned, we don't get to do the championship football games. That's Jeremiah Jensen and Sly, and I get to run the sidelines. Dane and I will do pre and halftime. We'll see about post game. We got to maybe hold a whole desk. I got to work that out technologically. It's going to take a Herculean task I'm working on at the moment. Because we have all kinds of contributors this year, but either way, we'll have a piece of that during football. But Dane and I have all the state championship basketball games you can handle. Will be Dane and I, boys and girls, 5A, 6A state tournaments. And then spring, we got to decide who's going to take volleyball. I think there's going to be a Rochambeau for that. But Dane has lacrosse and soccer. There's a nice lob, and take it away. They're going to have offensive foul before the shot there for James Rust. But Dane gets to kick off state championships here pretty soon. It's soccer.
Yeah, 2 weeks away.
Yeah, girls soccer coming up for us. Well, for Dane. No one wants to hear me call soccer. There's a few people that got to hear it a few years ago. They're like, this guy should stick to football. Apith-Cheng shot goes out of bounds.
Boy, short bench today for the Americans. We'll have to see how that impacts it.
And we're going to go early media timeout. So timeout on the floor. We'll be right back. Welcome back in. If you guys could hear what we talk about off air.
Look, one of us is a measure once, cut twice, and one of us is a measure twice, cut once.
But in everything else in my life, I don't do it that way. So. There's Judy on the CK, sends it on the baseline to Hansen, and Hansen goes up strong. And that's where I think his game's evolved as he gets older, right? He got to play. He didn't get to play a lot when he was really young.
Yeah.
Because he was injured. So I'm excited to see that. Just that power right there.
Well, and he doesn't look, I mean, from a distance, he doesn't look like a really strong kid, but if you can play big and play strong, man, it just adds a really different dimension. And look at him out on the run here, like a gazelle, Dusty.
And go up and flush. I know he had that one in him either. He's from the biggest little town in Utah, Plain City. And on the other end, +1 there for Cox, for Christopher Cox.
I thought you were going to say East Wendover, but I mean, it's one of those where you look at it and it's just like, I remember going out to Plain City. I'm like, there's no way there's a 5A school.
Still,
and yet they're building Taylor.
I know. When you get out there and it's like, you go to this is 6A, and it's like, yeah.
In fact, it's so big we got to build another school.
Right.
Of course, the Longhorns, that'll be weird.
Yeah,
that'll take some adjustment.
It will take some adjustment. And I want to know if the state's going to immediately come out with the rule about the horns down thing. Because we don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. As we're missing a bucket inside, so we'll match the scoreboard inside the building.
The Chaps off to a nice start.
They are. If you do it twice once, do it twice all the time.
Yeah, the Jazz continuing to make their effect here in the state of Utah. For those in the arena, double P, double S on the scoreboard tonight.
Good thing you were here in the mid-'90s, or late 90s. There's a pass off the mark taken by Workman.
Oh, I saw it even from Boise, so.
At the Jang, no. And the rebound taken by Rust. Young man from Timpview. Maybe by the time basketball season comes around, the construction will be done. And that shot lips out.
It'd be nice if they could play home games.
Man,
right?
I feel bad for those kids.
No kidding.
I've been a senior not able to play in your home stadium. Done it. We used to have a bunch of stadiums around us in Carbon. As Athens Jang lays that one in.
So they played in Dusty's backyard. It's why all the statistics are terrible from that era, because the field wasn't 100 yards long.
Essentially. Played at CEU and no lights. Like, he gave us two options. You play CEU or East Carbon. Like, yeah, we're not driving out to East Carbon. As I don't know, CK can't finish on the take.
I didn't know that Carbon County was the genesis for Friday Night Lights. A TV series,
I actually don't know that reference. I'm going to have to figure that one out. I still haven't done it. I know CK lifts that one out. I have watched Suits 7 times.
I'll catch you up over the break.
Cox had that one slapped away. Wow. Oh.
A little hot potato there.
Yeah. I think he wasn't near as far. I was about as close as Sonny Corleone came to hitting Carlo and The Godfather. He just looked a little different. Took him 3 days to shoot that, but his arm and everything comes close to It comes close to Carlo.
I'll just take your word for it.
Got to see it. There's Hansen going to pull up 3+1.
I think it was just a 2. I thought his foot was on the line.
Okay. 2+1.
But that play's well defended by Broadbent. I thought it was a 4 shot there by Hansen. Didn't really love it. The fact he was able to hit that with contact, man.
Well, Mulaney was really high on him in his sophomore year. He said that one won't go. And he told me, hey, man, my best player is injured. The problem was his freshman year. And there's a 3.
Yeah, Skank left open, drills it.
So 31-18. The Americans have just not been able to get the offense off the ground as that ball gets through. Broadbent sends out. Workman pumped the 3. Finds Mendoza, and he kind of got caught in between and ends up turning it over. Shot from Skank, back-to-back threes.
That's a heat check right there. And Skank Going a little NBA Jam style here. He's on fire, Dusty. Back-to-back trays for Hunter.
Kind of got a little bit of NBA Jam shooting motion, too, on some of that.
I'm just can't wait for his dunk attempt when he leaps out of the gym and comes back in, right?
And then I loved when he got the guy that did the flip, the fourth flip. Hansen off on the three, the rebound. Keep the ball high, go back up, count the buckets.
Deal. Logan Deal, we talk about him every week. Not the longest forward in the state, but man, he's just such a gritty worker.
Well, he is from Skyview, as that three won't go. Rebound to Deal. Skank with the nifty move. Oh, beautiful find on this end. It's Hansen lays that one in.
Logan dealing.
Nice. As Apith Jang on the take, sent out to the corner. Three on the way, won't go. Rebound again to Skank.
Love the help there by Hunter Hansen. Comes over, stays vertical, forces that pass.
Beatty on the drive. Little fall away. Got it.
Everything right now for the Chaps just working. Good ball movement, good spacing, unselfish play, knocking down shots, and a 20-point lead.
Time out on the floor. We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Lizzie from the Food Nanny. I recently got a My Style checking account. It's a perfect blend of rewards and convenient benefits. I love that sound. And now My Style Checking has new features like mobile phone protection, 24/7 telehealth, and my favorite, restaurant discounts. Get the only checking account you truly need and see what's new with My Style at macu.com.
And welcome back in. Dusty Litster and Dane Stewart with you. I remind you that balance, coordination, and stability are essential for nearly every element of basketball. Dynamic stability means maintaining body control in all directions, stability under all situations, even at full speed. Our proven progression utilizes plyometric drills, the multi-hip machine, and core technology improves dynamic stability at Athletic Republic.
Not the way you'd want to come out from a timeout. Turnover there.
Chaps a chance to extend the lead. Beatty left that short.
Nice jump by Cox, really kind of pushing him away and really contesting in the paint. They're not conceding easily. And then answers on the other end.
Get the stop on one end, get the bucket on the other. Chudy, step through and finish.
Next level move right there by Anosike.
Chudy. Send that one to the corner. Apith Jang.
He's gone old school with the sneakers tonight. Talk about the kicks for Chudy. And
I didn't see him wearing Chucks.
He's going retro.
What do you, in what ways?
I was just like, that's the old three-stripe, man.
Oh, okay. I got you. He's wearing the Superstars.
Yeah.
Find inside, reverse it, and it stays down for Mendoza. Oh, nice crossover. Send back up. A strong take and just would not go down there for Mitch Jepson. Quick on the other end. Jang inside to Mendoza. And big man went to finish before big man caught the ball and turns it over.
Been that kind of a game for the Americans. I mean, you get quick passing there. You're running the floor. You get your big man, no defense around, and just lose it off the foot. been a tough night, tough first half here.
Yeah.
The Oakland Americans looking a little bit like the Oakland A's.
Oh, the defunct Oakland Raiders. As someone's laid up and in. I can go there, you can't.
Yeah, I wasn't going to.
It's like Jamarcus Russell era Raiders right now. Or the Warriors before Steph Curry, -1 year. And there's a foul on that pass to Mendoza.
Yeah, Mendoza recognizing good positioning there and working against Jepson. And he's going to have a lot of opportunities when you look at Region 1 to go against mismatches on the interior. And you see he's certainly got the body and the ability to be effective in the block. It's just going to be a matter of repetition and doing it enough as that free throw crawling out.
Well, you're thinking he, KJ Miller, and Mekhi Martin.
Yep. Mekhi not here tonight. Normally on this American squad.
Skank off the steal for 3, left it short. And we're going to have a foul on the rebound going against the Chaps. Inside of 20 seconds.
Good communication there by Beatty, helping to call out the screen. Helps Skank get in good defensive positioning.
Straightaway 3 for Broadbent won't fall. And that is how the first half will end. 20 minutes in, and it's all Chaps leading 45-25 over the Oakland Americans. You're watching the 2022 Utah Top 50. Start of the second half. Dusty Litster and Dane Stewart with you here at the Utah Top 50. As technical glitch is over. And, man, it was a great first half that continues here for the Chaps.
And Hunter Hansen showing it was not a technical glitch in the first half for him as he comes up with a nice little 14-footer.
He just goes a little Wreck-It Ralph saying we're going to use the glitch to our advantage.
Just make sure there's not a bug in it.
We all live off sugar. As that three won't go. And it's out of bounds off of the Americans. I know we should be doing some like intros with these guys, and you'd have the Oakland Americans come out the old Hulk Hogan music. I wanna be American.
Yeah.
Some opportunities that maybe we pitch for championship night. But I guess all the teams will play. So,
of course, Coach Miller walking in the building here for Cottonwood High School, watching his player right there, Christopher Cox on demand.
Hey, there you go. Be decisive. I think one of the things you learn at that young age is, hey, just be decisive. Come right back.
Mark didn't even clap. Come on, Coach. Like, that's your guy.
He's expected it. The drive and finish from Chudy Anosike.
Yeah.
There's a matchup. He and Cox will match up. Well, never mind. They're not in that region anymore. Their schools are only about 2 minutes apart, but
there they are.
Oh, they are.
Region 6. It's been a while since we've talked about Highland. It was a non-region contest against Payson last year.
Oh, that's right. That's right. For whatever reason, I was thinking that they remove Timpanogos from that region in basketball and insert Cottonwood, but I was wrong. I remember now. It's Chudy on the drive and finish.
I'm going to go verify. But
I thought it was a region game. I thought it was region.
Cottonwood.
Yeah, Cottonwood.
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
I was thinking Highland.
Yeah, well, Cottonwood and Murray's like 5 minutes away from each other.
Yeah.
There's a nice reverse and score once again for Christopher Cox.
Yeah, it used to be a region rivalry. It used to be a rivalry in everything.
In general, yeah.
Yeah.
As Chudy hits the three. He got a little bit of little setup there from the bench. We could hear across the way. Remember, college coaches coach these teams. They're all like, I think you see some smiles right now. Like, hey, 33 is pretty good. I didn't tell you I saw they came in as Christopher Cox again. I think he has all the points for the Americans out of the break. But I was coming in, I saw Andre Mulibea.
Really?
Yeah. Oh. I was walking. I was on the phone with someone, kind of walking in. And I heard, "Hey," I look and just give me a wave.
I miss those days, huh?
Reverse and score to Rust, absolutely. I wish you were in the good old days when you were in them. Although we've got a good 18-year stretch where that's kind of been the case for the most part of our sports coverage.
Yeah. I think we just starting to realize we're in the good old days, right? 18 years in.
18 years in. I just think of that first state championship when the Highland fans were all making smack talking me. There's the block from Hansen. Where's your boy, Tanner Lamb? I had to remind him that he almost beat him by himself. He and
in true Dusty fashion, throwing a bunch of 16-year-olds in front of the bus. So
what's funny, you see them all now grown up. Braden Brown's a doctor and got many kids, and he's a great Instagram follow for daily workouts.
Well, speaking of, so's old Collinsworth,
yeah,
huh?
Well, of course, Chris Collinsworth, the star at Provo. He and Brandon Davies, but it was, or probably that was Kyle Collinsworth. Chris was the first Collinsworth that we covered. He and Tanner Gregory, the Junction Jumpers, as that shot falls.
Charlie Smith there, Bountiful able to hit the three. Americans trying to hang around Chudy right now. Tough shot.
Just one defense of myself, Dane saying Dusty making fun of 6 years. I was 21, 22. I was just barely aged out of that whole thing.
Yeah, well, look, we were just kind of getting into it, right?
Oh, Chudy left that a little too strong. Between them making fun of me and then Coach Dubois getting after me, is that take and make by Christopher Cox continues his spectacular start to the second half. On the other end, Chudy takes the hard bump from
Cox might have taken the worst of that.
Yeah.
Kind of took the shoulder right in the chest. And tell you, you meet Chudy and you realize that's a big kid.
Yeah, but he came and did the interview with us last year. Like, wow, not as wiry as I thought.
Yeah. You don't look that big from 100 feet away.
And the mustache comes in nicely. Chudy misses the free throw. I think Coach Workman's here. I'm always kidding, but come back the other way. I'm sure he is here. Jackson just gave that one up. Popped out by Rust. And Rust able to get it away from Workman. Rust from the corner. Three won't go. That ball goes out of bounds off of Broadbent, and we'll stay here with the Chaps. So this Chaps team, we saw them last week shut down the Tropics in big fashion.
Yeah.
It's really blended very nicely. The three is, or probably the two is good.
Starting to come together, Pepper. And, you look at the roster, they got a lot of scoring. Because you even look at a guy like James Rust, who Timview leading scorer last year. He hasn't had to contribute a lot, right? Because there is just a lot of offensive firepower on this roster. And, I mean, Russ had the open three, and that's one where it's like, that's money. That's going in. And, I mean, he just missed the shot. But he's got the ability to drop 20 on you. It's Hansen here with another breakout.
Oh, and Hansen with the second stuff of the night.
That's Utah State level right there.
Now Smith kind of got stuck between what he wanted to do there. Did I miss that? Hansen go to Utah State? Him and Jordy Barnes?
He's offered.
Oh, offered. Okay. Coach Odom trying to keep some local talent here. Got Jordy Barnes.
I mean, it is the Utah State University. So
I do have the former fan of the year to my left as Broadbent goes and finishes.
I was back in my younger days, too.
I saw Old Blue last Thursday, and the first thing I said to my little boy, Demmer, said, I know you got a friend that knows him. Demmer just looked at me and asked for cars. So as Mendoza's fouled, and he'll go to the line for 1 for 2 free throws.
There's more to that story. No one's interested in that.
Yeah. Hey, they all heard about places Dusty lived last week. They're intrigued by our lives. I'm
sure. I'm sure.
As the free throw is off the mark. 62-41. Hansen again for three. How about the night?
He has been dialed in from the start. My goodness.
Region 1 could be an absolute blast. It is the basketball region in the state of Utah. Most people won't want to talk about it, but a lot of state championships come out of Region 1 in basketball.
Speaking of Region 1, there's another Region 1. Hunter Skank dialing up the three.
Yeah. Between Layton Davis and Fremont. A lot of
Farmington
championships
now in that region.
Well, I mean the state championships since in out of that region is. Skank, he didn't quite get that one cleanly. I was impressed he still went for that.
I told you. I was waiting for him to leap out of the building, NBA Jam style. And now it ruined the hot shooting streak.
I was going to say the three didn't drop because there's a little bit of that. He had it. And I was surprised he still went for it because it was kind of an in-between pass there.
Yeah.
He didn't get it cleanly. I don't know that we ever saw his brothers dunk, so if he can get that, I mean, there's a first. We've seen the Skinks do lots of stuff they all have done. I don't know if we ever had a Skink brother throw it down in all the games we've done over the years of theirs. Apatching has that one popped away. Broadbent with it. He's going to go at Hansen. Sends back out. Cox for three. Short. Skank quickly ahead. Rust. Now he'll flush.
Told you that young man, he's going to be the leading scorer for Timview this year.
Yeah.
And that's maybe his second bucket tonight. And it just speaks again to the offensive firepower as Cox there couldn't get the finish past Beatty.
I thought Beatty actually. That was a Coach Ballstead called foul there on that dunk attempt.
By the way, have verified according to the the internet that Hunter Hansen verbal to Utah State.
Verbal.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah. Of course, that's only if you trust online.
It's on the internet. It has to be true. Timeout. We'll be right back. Now, welcome back in. Dusty Lister and Dane Stewart. I'll remind you about Athletic Republic that they work on your athlete's stamina. Playing as well in the final minutes of the game as in the first quarter requires an athlete to develop its stamina to perform under fatigue. Our 75-minute training sessions are constructed with a personalized schedule to improve a player's conditioning. And that's at Athletic Republic. You know, a lot of people ask, like, hey, how's Alabama so good? Let me give you a free plug to a podcast called the Origins Podcast. Go on Spotify, Apple, wherever. And there's a whole thing on the building of Alabama. And one of the tests that Nick Saban requires of all incoming freshmen, as that 3 is good from Beatty, is they have to be able to run, I think it's 2100s consecutively on day one. They have to come in ready to go, whatever it is, at full speed. I mean, this isn't like light. There's no putting your hands on your head, no putting your hands on your hips. So you got to walk off between each one, and they test them to see how good they are. And what they do is they don't tell them. They take them into Bryant-Denny Stadium in the middle of the summer with no one there. Guys, Barrett Jones says that it's like 300 degrees. He's like, it's crazy. It's like 150 degrees in that building. He's like, it's all hot. He's like, and that's where they make him run them. He says maximum effort from day one so they can show themselves they can do it. Apathy makes that one.
Here's the thing. I mean, I had all the talent to go to Alabama, but that would have just disqualified. That's why I wasn't offered. That right there.
Barrett Jones tells the story. He's like, hey, we were all ready for it.
That's crazy.
He's like, I was ready. He's like, I knew I could do it. He goes, and then they take us to the stadium. It is so hot when nobody's in there.
Well, in the summer in Alabama, right?
Yeah.
It's not so much the heat, it's the humidity that'll kill you.
And not even in Greenbow, Alabama. It's on Tuscaloosa.
Good find there on the trailer with Mendoza. Chap's still shooting threes and shooting a pretty good clip at it. Able to help keep this a 20-plus game.
But yeah, so you still want to know. I mean, I thought it was one of the most interesting things to listen to how they built the program. So, nice take by Chudy on a CK as he's fouled by Cox.
I'll tell you, Chudy's had a nice game tonight, but I have loved Cox defending him. Right, he's not backed down at all. He's gone right at him, toe to toe. We've seen him really try to contest and make things difficult, and really respect the defensive effort tonight from Christopher Cox.
Yeah, he's gone full Tom Petty.
Won't back down.
As the free throw is good, 77-51. Oh, nice find. Apathy Jang works it around.
Just look at the ball movement.
Extra pass to Mendoza with the dunk.
When you talk about sending out emails and coaches want to see ball movement, that's it. That is beautiful basketball there by the Americans.
Clip it and share it like your favorite GIF, as that doesn't go from Skank. Appicheng back inside Mendoza. Could have laid that one in, but sent it back out. And Appicheng loses that one on the drive. We go back down the floor with the Chaps.
Hulk Hogan would have been playing his guitar on that one.
Only when he's Hollywood Hogan.
Yeah.
Angled three, won't go for Chudy. Broadbent with the run out. 3-on-1. Broadbent right to the rim. Anosike was there. And it'll be 1 for 2 free throws here for Broadbent. And truly a region rivalry here.
Yes.
Broadbent and Chudy.
And Chudy now talking with the opposing coach. We better separate him here, Dusty.
He's just saying, hey, where's my offer? His free throw doesn't go. That's not true. That's not true.
I'm sure the coach is probably like, I don't know that we could argue you to stay here, man.
Check the mail. When they used to do such things. Is all the
There
take
you
and
go.
the dunk.
Another Bobcat for you right there, Tanner Davis.
Broadbent off the angle, and the three goes in. Shoot and roll.
Remember, hit a couple early. Really hasn't had a lot of good looks since then. That one even contested. We'll just crawl it over and telling you, man, NBA Jam style right now.
Yeah.
Hunter Skank.
I need 2 more stops. He needs to make 2 more buckets. Appicheng on the take.
Oh, nice find.
Clock's moving without the basketball.
Yeah, I mean, that's an opportunity. You see the driver, you cut through the paint. Good vision there by Appicheng to find him.
And Beatty with it. Just didn't want to go for the assist.
Yeah.
Good deal. Good deal for everyone.
He's hit a couple of those threes already, right? We can share the rock a little bit.
That's one of those ones. It was true. Oh, beautiful take and finish there for Appicheng. Been a tough night from the floor. He had the nice dish on the previous possession to his man
Cox.
Cox, thank you. And then now that finish.
Yeah, athletic move baseline there for JJ. And Davis kind of looked around. I don't know that if he liked the call or not, but it was a flash play there by JJ and not much of an opportunity for Davis to stay in front of that one.
Send out to Rust. 3 won't go. Gets his own board. Out to Hansen. Corner 3. Lips out. That's out of bounds off of Beatty. We'll go down the floor with the Americans. '83, 84-63, game 2 of 3. We've got one more coming your way. As a angled 3 won't go for Jackson Workman. Been that kind of night.
Man, Jackson, a young man. We've talked about it over the course of the summer. He's had a nice summer on the circuit. Hit some big-time shots. He can certainly hit that 3. But kind of a rhythm type of guy. And tonight it's been tough for them to find him in rhythm consistently enough for him to knock down that shot late.
Hunter Hansen long on the 2. Remember, game 3 coming up next. Kentucky Colonels taking on the Anaheim Amigos. Is this rim regulation size or what? Won't go down here on this end.
I saw some of that in the first game of the night, and Beatty betrayed by the rim.
I'm only laughing because he's laughing. As we come back to the other end, Appicheng, you're like, what is happening right now?
He probably had some chicken before the game or something, and those fingers are just a little too greasy, right?
That Kenny Rogers makes a mean bird.
Ooh.
That was a tough pass
Yeah.
to get there for Russ. Nice job on the attempt. Come back the other way, and an easy 2 there for Workman.
Floor opening up here.
Tanner Davis. Oh, little
It's nice work.
AK-47 finish.
You see the little drive there by Davis on Smith and just kind of uses that enough to create some separation on the step back. Love the pull-up there for the 4A guard. Skyview's going to be a scary team this year, too.
I think so, too. 4A in general, I think it's going to be a lot of fun. With
Yeah.
Lyman Simmons no longer at Snow Canyon, I mean, it's going to be a little more open. As, hey, there's the second dunk of the night for Tanner Davis.
I was thinking he was going to go off the glass to
Yeah.
Rust on that one.
You know, it reminds me of Brendan Rigby when our coverage
Yes,
at Wasatch
yeah.
Academy. Like, oh, this kid will be good. And all of a sudden he jumps out of the gym. Now the current Oregon Duck.
Yeah.
As Hunter Hansen comes off that one, Beatty sends back out. Hunter going to take that one strong to the hoop, couldn't finish. Tipped around by Rust. He had that one blocked by Cox. And then Hansen, as it should have been, finishes there with
Yeah.
the two inside of a minute.
Sheer stick-to-itiveness.
Stick-to-itiveness is the best ness, as Athbeth Jane can't finish.
How about the Chaps at 90? Man, that escalated quickly.
As I thought maybe we get a chance at dunk number 3 there from Davis, but he wisely just lays it in. Back out, JJ for 3 and rattles home. Unofficially, I got him with 5 points. And
There you go.
substitution. Are we calling it?
I think we're calling it.
Calling it. That was it. That'll do it for game 2. Final score, the Dallas Chaps 92, the Oakland Americans 70. Dan, your final thoughts and selection of the player of the game.
Yeah, I think the Chaps came out really strong, really aggressive early on. Just too much for the Americans tonight. Man, a couple different ways I could go here with the player of the game. I'll go with Hunter Hansen.
Go.
I was debating Skank. I think he had a really nice night, but we'll spread the wealth a little bit. Hunter aggressive offensively. We'll give the Silver Wolf our player of the game.
Yeah, I thought Hunter Hansen was great. Again, our final score, the Dallas Chaps 92, the Oakland Americans 70. As we go to game 3 on our triple header tonight on the Utah Top 50, our player of the game goes to Hunter Hansen. For Kimball Bigelow and Dane Stewart, I'm Dusty Lister. Thanks for joining us and for watching the 2022 Utah Top 50. Game 3 of our triple header coming up right here on KSLSports.com. Game 3 of our triple header here, the Utah Top 50. Dusty Lister and Dane Stewart with you. Game 3 tonight, the Kentucky Colonels and the Anaheim Amigos.
All right, so Isaac Garrett in the circle tonight for the Amigos. Isaac, I hope you watch this because next week, here's what's got to happen. When you walk into that center circle, you got to look across the midcourt line and just say, "Tell us we will die like dogs." I'm just saying,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
I mean, it's a missed opportunity.
Well, the missed opportunities of the whole Amigos team. There's a steal by Garrett. And on the other end, Garrett rises and flushes. That they don't come out doing my little buttercup. My little buttercup.
Yeah.
That's fine, but unable to finish there is Whitehead. Been a little lopsided tonight in our previous 2 games. Hope we get something a little closer. Frank can't get that little left-handed love to fall.
I'll tell you that. That'll be a fun task tonight if it's indeed Bettinger who gets to deal with Jagger in the block.
How about Tyler Christensen somehow getting on the short side and getting that one to go? And there's the bucket as well.
Tough pull-up there for Jax Allen. We talk about guys that have really shined at the top 50. We talked about a couple last games. Jax Allen's been that guy for me for Anaheim.
Right.
I mean, look, Jagger's been fantastic. But, man, Jax is a young man I didn't really have on my radar. But the way he's played here, that young man, he can play some basketball, and just a sophomore down at Cedar Valley.
So Cedar Valley's got a couple of really good players.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see where they go. Remember the Aviators, which we've had some really good names join the state. The Aviators is certainly there.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It is.
And so excited to see where they are because their football team's gotten a little better year over year. That's always the toughest program to get going, depending on what school you're at, not named Corner Canyon or some others.
Well,
But,
it wasn't smooth for Corner out of the chute either. It took them a while.
It did take them a little bit. I think year
4?
Year 2, they got to the semifinals. I remember their quarterback got hurt, and then we had the running game. They lost to Roy.
Okay.
And so that's kind of that thing. It was like straight from 5A, boom. It was all, remember, because he had to declare within that area, he had to declare and say they were going. And they're able to figure that out. And then Kara gets there, taking over for Coach Eck, and there we go. But it's not as easy, and they have a lot of kids. That all goes through the hands of Bettinger. But the basketball team, I think you could see some of that ground kind of get going, especially what Westlake has built, become a basketball area.
Well, and the other
there.
thing is, it's not like you've got 3 high schools right around you. I mean, you've got Corner, right, and there's a lot of high schools, a lot of growth in the south end of the valley. Cedar, you're kind of out there.
Yeah, it's
right?
you,
a little
Westlake.
bit on an island. Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Westlake has
for
their
them.
own challenges,
and they got to go around the
right?
mountain there, right?
Yeah.
As Bettinger lost his footing on that one and went down on that far side.
Back to the game. Now that we've given everyone a geography lesson.
But at least it was about a school. They're just excited to see where that one goes as Jordy Barnes misses on the 3 and the rebound taken by Frankham. Is Jack Sallin sends back to Jordy Barnes. Probably that's not Jordy Barnes, that's Schroeder.
Yeah.
Knocks down the 3. Nash for 3. I'm going to guess his dad is the former coach of Bingham.
That's very possible.
He played like a coach's son no matter what there.
If that's the case, Coach Schroeder, come on up next week, huh?
Yeah.
Come say hi. It's been a while.
We're going to confirm that, but I'm very positive. It's off the inbound. The ball got tipped out there to Bettinger. Mason working on man sent across court. Jordy Barnes, no. And Schroeder with the board. Frankham filled the body on the back, misses on the jump hook. Now quickly on the push here with Erickson. Erickson with the crossover, nice take, and the finish won't go, but it'll be a foul, I believe, on the floor. Or are they going to give him on the shot?
I think that's going to be something this year that Caden's going to have to deal with night in, night out. And that is a lot of physicality, right? When you look at Region 1 and, of course, Syracuse, and Caden going to be shouldering a lot of that load for the Titans this year. I think there's going to be a lot of riding on Caden Erickson this year, and that's going to be the play he's going to have to figure out how to capitalize on consistently as he makes that free throw at the line.
Real. So 7-4 here in the early goings. The step back 3 would not fall for Isaac Garrett. PG. Quick on the push. Barnes. Cross court Erickson. Good D there from Schroeder. And that shot off the mark, and it was out of bounds.
You're not going to put that past official Doug. Hey, Doug.
Hey.
He's right on that.
Hey, he'll read the news to you at night, too, as he used to do back in the day. Nice find inside, and it was Jackson McKee.
It sure was. They lost McKee on the inbound. Great move there by the box elder B. Of course, he's got a big Friday night coming up this week, but he's focused on Monday, Dusty.
They've been on a 2-game slide there for the Bees as a shot would not fall on the reverse for Allen. Comes
Jackson running
down
the floor here.
3 won't go, and the board taken by Hinckley. And another take and finish there from Isaac Garrett. So Isaac's improvement from March to now, kind of night and day.
Yeah. He was a good player last year, but, man, he just looks very purposeful.
I mean, I don't want to – I mean, this isn't – I feel like his coordination kind of caught up a little bit, too. He was more of a off the ball, lots of different stuff. I didn't see him really take the ball off the dribble. As a nice take and finish on the inside there, off the bump in the bucket, Tyler Christensen.
He's an aviator, too, on the floor tonight.
They are the Aviators.
I have a feeling we're going to hear that now for a little bit.
Alan,
not just tonight
that
either.
is a new one. That just came to me. There we go. There's Alan can't finish on that one. Come on the other end. Jordy Barnes for 3. Titan triple for the Colonels.
You know, Jordy's never afraid to take a shot. That time he's looking to distribute and no one around him. So just does what he's been trained to do, and that is nail it from range.
Jackson Smith misses on the 3. Oh, Matani Hinckley gets on the floor. And how about the hustle?
There's been a plethora of hustling here on this end, eh?
Yes. Would you say I have a lot of hustle? A plethora
Yes.
of hustle?
You have a plethora.
Do you know what a plethora means?
I don't have your intellect, Dusty.
That's not true. One of the two of us has an MBA, and it's not the one speaking at the moment. Let's go back to Smith. Allen.
Dusty went to the school of life.
That's right. Barnes, nice find to Bettinger, and Mason lays it in.
And I love the pull up the brakes, and when you've got that kind of a range and you hit that defense isn't going to continue to flow. It's an easy finish for Bettinger with the paint left empty.
Smith.
Sheesh. Whew. Jackson, be careful, man. The season's just a couple weeks away, huh?
Jackson. Oh, Purdy. Come back the other way. Barnes leaves it for the trailing. McKee for 3.
Jackson McKee from range, eh?
Saw Papa McKee as coach during the winter at Box Elder High School, sitting in front and center. As Schroeder to Hinckley, working around. Nice ball movement in the hands of Smith. Misses on the 3. Rebound taken by Whitehead. Barnes fits that one into McKee. He sends back out. Jordy open for 3. Off the mark, and the rebound.
How about Hinckley? Such a nice job of kind of keeping Bettinger away, allowing room for that ball to come down. Teammate corralling the rebound.
Schroeder sends back out to Hinckley. Frankham.
He goes right now, needing to find some offense. A lot of ball movement here.
And this is Frankham on the inside, going against Whitehead, feeling it, fall away, and Whitehead swats it. Smith along 2. Won't go. Frankham with the board off the floor, and he had nobody home, and turnover.
And just so Jagger doesn't feel bad, Whitehead's going to cause that problem with a lot of kids in 6A. It's just the range, right? I mean, the reach that he has, the wingspan, it's hard working in the post to be able to get that shot away.
Especially when he sat back and waited to go after that. As there's a foul on the screen, and we got immediate timeout. So timeout on the floor. We'll take it with him. We'll be right back. You're watching the 2022 Utah Top 50. Welcome back, Dusty Lister and Dane Stewart. And running the camera tonight, Kimball Bigelow, because Vince Francis decided he needed the Monday night off. Go hang up on the slopes.
Yeah, you need to go up in the clear air and, kick the feet up and relax a little bit.
Some people like to take Mondays.
Some of us have to work. Yeah. Others take vacations, apparently.
Apparently. That claim work. That's only because of an insulting text message sent in our group text.
Yeah, I've been meaning to tell you, I've got to take a work trip to Hawaii, Dusty, so.
Yeah. Jeez. As Frankham had that one go off his shoulder. But good to know the Vince is watching even when he's not here. So, checking in on everything. He's trying to find that ball inside to Whitehead, and Frankham gets a little retribution for earlier with the block, and we'll go down the floor with the Amigos.
Of course, I still think it might just be leftovers from a rough Sunday, but
it's usually my excuse, the Monday I missed. So, and it's Vince. I always say Vince because it's V-Y-N-C-E. This is the most Vince has allowed us to speak about him because he's not here.
That's true.
As Smith misses on the fall away, McKee with the board. On transition, Bettinger can't get that one. A rebound to the Colonels, but nothing there. Frankham clears it for the Amigos.
A couple good defensive looks there by the Amigos. The extension by Hinckley really made a tough shot for Bettinger. And then you have Jagger down in the block that really forced that fadeaway to be very deep on the baseline. Tough shot.
Wow, Smith knowing that you got a guy on the backside able to get that to Frankham for the stick, and it's a three-point game. Bettinger in the lane, floats it no. Rebound taken by Schroeder. Oh, nice little hesitation. Frankham straight away, got it.
Frankham inside last possession, outside this, 5 straight points.
I don't think Jagger could shoot like Frankham.
You have to catch me up on that one at halftime.
Mick Jagger, I don't think he...
No, I know that.
Okay.
Shoot like Frankham, I didn't catch that one.
Because Jagger Frankham, I was trying to, the moves like Jagger. It's a song. Mama Frankham got it.
Here's the deal. I'm almost bald, so a lot just kind of like hits the forehead and goes right over. So
I don't know if you can quote Adam Levine at the moment, but I did anyway. As that one doesn't go, and back down the floor we go with the Amigos. Find inside, and Frankham.
That duo has been phenomenal for the Amigos the entire tournament. I've joked if the Garrett family has a move coming up, Ridgeline would be a great spot.
Or vice versa.
Or vice versa. Not that I would condone such action.
That's a commitment move, no matter what.
No kidding, huh?
Smith leaves it back for Hinckley. Frankham, now Smith on the angle. From way outside, Jackson Smith for three.
When Jagger had positioning in the paint, I was just waiting for him to drop it in, but Smith, recognizing he had a window, sends it up and hits it. And how about a 10-0 run here for the Amigos?
As Bettinger comes near side. That was William Santiago who worked that one around, and it's Garrett claiming the board.
Colonel's going a little cold here.
Oh, a tough shot, but Isaac gets his own rebound. Send it back out to Smith. Is that what will go? And it's William Santiago with the run out. Nice pass and the finish from McKee.
Boy, great break. Jackson McKee done a lot of everything, or shown some nice versatility tonight. That time on the run out.
Oh, nice crossover. Oh, Whitehead with another swat to the corner to Hinckley for three.
Braden Whitehead tonight is becoming a protector, defender of the paint. Been impressed with him defensively.
There's William Santiago. Tough pass there. Couldn't handle it. Whitehead. Remember, a big guy in that spot. That's a long ways for those hands to get down there. We'll stay with the Amigos with 5:10 on a rolling clock. Frankham, 4-3.
An assist to Isaac Garrett. You have Allen on the drive, the kick out, over to Isaac, back to Jagger.
His second three of the first half for Jagger. Worked it in the paint last week. This week, he wanted to stretch it out. Schroeder blocked away by Mason Bettinger.
Yeah. Nice work by Mason. Hasn't taken a lot of shots tonight. I don't think I've seen him score yet, but he's been locked in defensively here in this first half.
Oh, I've seen Cyclone joining the Manning brothers tonight. Still hanging. Garrett has it slapped away. Barnes with the loose ball. Jordy with the left and finish.
But look at how far in the paint Jagger is able to go. And I love the quick shot there. I mean, we've seen Whitehead kind of square him up, being able to defend him when he's kind of turned around to square up. That time, little hook shot, allowing that shoulder to help create separation and drawing the contact there.
As Frankham gets to 1 for 2 for the Amigos. And a 9-point advantage.
By the way, I've had a coach tell me that he understands 20 touches a night for Jagger.
He got the message?
He got it, yeah.
A coach or the coach?
The coach, yeah. Of course, Coach Day, good evening.
Yeah. Always nice to know message received. Nice job off getting the board. Go back up strong. Couldn't get it. Whitehead with the rebound. No. And we'll stay here, but love the work down low for the rebound there by Tyler Christensen. Up top, Bettinger. Now back near side to Barnes. Christensen from the corner, no. Didn't pull on the three. Goes to Whitehead. And Whitehead nearly turns that one over. Got to remember, big man put the ball on the floor like that. You're welcoming that action from the wing.
And Matani Hinckley here playing that whole side of the floor. I mean, Whitehead rolls to the rim. He comes down to help. They skip it over. And Matani's still able to get over to close out the three. And then, to your point, fouled there in the block because he was coming down to help again. But Matani's defense on that last drive, impactful.
So at the line, Mason Bettinger from Woods Cross misses the free throw. Doesn't happen a lot. Smith, back to Hinckley. Hinckley goes at Whitehead. Fall away, got over the top of the big fella. And good. And Mason on the other end.
Nice patience there by Bettinger. So often when you're a scorer, you feel sped up in an attempt to try to find that bottom of the net, but showing patience there, waiting for the defense to get in the air. A nice finish.
Garrett had nowhere to go, turns it over. Give it up to Whitehead, and Whitehead scores. 7-point game. Schroeder had that one go through the hands, but gets to Garrett. Whoa! Garrett and Erickson tied up, and a little 6A shove at the end of that one. That yet to say everything's all good. Goes right back inside. Allen sends out Schroeder for three. No. Oh, Garrett comes out of nowhere for the putback dunk.
I was going to say, I don't know that Isaac Garrett is very accustomed to being tied up like he was.
Yeah.
And he comes back with a vengeance there. Rebound dunk.
Jump ball this. Sent to the corner. Jordy Barnes, 4-3.
If he's open, he's probably going to hit it.
5 seconds. And Smith is fouled. And let's see how much time. There should be about 5 seconds left.
Top 50.
I thought we were blowing whistles. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
All right. So that'll do it for the first half. We go to the end of the first half, and it's the Eagles 33, Colonels 27. You're watching Utah Top 50 on KSLSports.com.
From the Food Nanny. I recently got a My Style checking account. It's a perfect blend of rewards and convenient benefits. I love that sound. And now My Style checking has new features like mobile phone protection, 24/7 telehealth, and my favorite, restaurant discounts. Get the only checking account you truly need and see what's new with My Style at macu.com.
Start of the second half, Dusty Lister and Dane Stewart. 6-point ball game. The Eagles got out quick. But the Colonels have been able to keep it close. And
there you go.
Lob that one up to Jax Allen, who lays it in.
Yeah, Caden Erickson. Love that. We saw a similar play to start an earlier game tonight. This one being finished there by the Colonels. And here comes Caden again.
It's Erickson. Nice find once again.
Boy, we saw a tie-up that really ignited Garrett. How about Caden Erickson, the other party involved in that tie-up? A couple quick initiated buckets for Caden.
Yeah, and I had the wrong name as well. It's Tyler Christensen for the Colonels. Yeah, the two aviators going. As Erickson, no. Tipped up by Garrett, no. And he finally claims the board.
Good switch there. We've seen Jagger roll off a lot of those high screens. Garrett been able to find him. Caden Erickson recognizing the switch.
Oh, nice ball on the baseline. Blocked away. Schroeder stays with it. Kind of lost it. It was a great control and then lost on his way up.
Just trying to do a lot there, right?
So 35-31, game 3 tonight. We do play next week on the 10th, but then the 17th is a bye week for championship night at Vivint Arena. There's Jordy Barnes for 3.
It's a bye week for the top 50, but it's go week for the next.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, so tune in. It's going to be a great way to kind of get a picture of what's coming up here in the state of Utah.
It was a great
Bettinger, yeah.
Yeah, it was a great pass from Garrett, and then Bettinger with the block on Frankham. And Frankham going the line. Shot won't go. Rebound taken by McKee.
Of course, this one meaningful because you have teammates in Jackson Smith and Mason Bettinger. You're going to have to listen to each other all winter long, talk about who got the better of this one, Dustin.
Mm-hmm. Especially go shoot free throws.
Mm-hmm.
Play ping pong. I don't know if kids play that anymore. Foosball. There's a steal.
That was my game. Oh, foosball.
Yeah, quick on the other end. Mason Bettinger. Yes, look at that. Come all the way back, and the Colonels take a 36-35 lead. It was 31-20.
Bettinger really picking up the aggressiveness. Look at him just body into Garrett there and forces that pass out of bounds.
Well, Schroeder seemed like he was a little uncertain if it was touched or not. He kind of pulled up. Or maybe he didn't really have a shot at it either.
And Mason Bettinger talking to the official, and Isaac Garrett kind of had to look like, yeah, you know.
Yeah, you checked with the official that it was white ball on that one, too. As he turned around, he's like, right? You can't take the competitive stuff out of competitive guys.
I don't know. Tom Brady seems to handle it pretty well.
Right? Can I tell you my favorite thing about the Mike Thomas thing is Mike Thomas is yelling, "It's Tom Brady. It's Tom Brady."
Oh, boy, tough pass there.
That's right, Mike Evans. Because that one's short from Bettinger.
Another game here with short benches. Just one extra for the Amigos, 2 for the Colonels. See how the duration plays out.
Tanner McKee in football shape, and there's a Bettinger off the lob, and now an extended lead here, 3 points.
Region rivals playing teammates tonight, playing friendly tonight.
We'll see if it stays friendly in December and January. I should say January and February is the pull-up is good for Erickson.
What a start to this second half for the Colonels, huh? My goodness.
Yeah. Well, everything was going the way of the Amigos early.
Yeah.
And then a timeout taken. We'll take it with them. You're watching the Top 50. 15:02 left. I want to remind you that Utah Top 50 brought to you by Athletic Republic. Over the past 3 decades, Athletic Republic's signature acceleration training has helped hundreds of thousands of scholastic athletes achieve their goals, helping them develop the strength and the movement skills needed to increase speed, build power, and improve agility.
Boy, missed opportunity for Jackson Smith. The defense was very late to close down the paint. It was just too strong on the take.
Jordy Barnes was online and just off. McKee with the board, back into Bettinger. Mason was up strong and finishes.
Boy, look at all the bodies in the paint there for the Colonels. You have Bettinger, you have Jackson McKee, and you've got Whitehead, all scrapping for the board, and it pays off.
And the Amigos have gone cold. Back on the other end, here's Barnes.
All right, this has to work to Bettinger because Jackson Smith was guarding him. We need teammate on teammate here.
Yes, we do. He should be calling for the ball. I want it here.
Yeah.
Barnes the trigger. Here's Bettinger. There, Bettinger fall away. No.
How about a D by Allen? Jax Allen taking on our 5A Offensive Player of the Year last year.
And hung with him.
Yes.
Garrett, feeling, got around and scores.
Boy, what a great job of working against height. Whitehead had great positioning. You see him set up that spin on the baseline and able to find the finish on the backside.
He just seems much more just nimble from what we saw a year ago. I feel like I need to go back and watch a couple of our Pleasant Grove games from last year. I'm just mischaracterizing the growth here for Garrett.
See, and I kind of feel like, and I only saw PG once or twice last year, I always felt like it was a quiet 20. Right, it was like you see the game and you look at him, you're like, he has how many? He just didn't.
Right.
But this, and that's why I said purposeful earlier, right? Is that it feels like, oh yeah, he leaves his imprint on the game now, whereas last year it was kind of like, I didn't realize he had that.
Like, oh wow,
it's just different.
Schroeder sends out to Garrett. Now Hinckley. Good defense there by Whitehead. Smith to the corner, Hinckley. And McKee with him. Back up to Garrett. Garrett can go right at Whitehead. Shot on the key would not drop. Ahead. And that's William Santiago. And Santiago lays that one in.
Love the recognition there by the Colonels. Got guys running the floor. Get it up the floor quickly. Let them score.
I know our camera guy, Kimball Bigelow, is a cinephile of sorts. I mean, he knows a few good men, right? If I go William Santiago, yeah, there we go. See? It's a good boy. He wouldn't get any food at the next family dinner if that was off. If he didn't know. On the drive, can't get that one to go. The rebound taken by the Colonels, and going back up strong is Christensen.
I mean, right now, the Colonels brought their Windex. Every rebound, offensively, defensively, is going to the Kentucky Colonels.
Get this, 26-6 since it was 31-20.
And it's because they're getting second and third chance opportunities, and it's one and done for the Amigos on the other end.
Yeah. Erickson gets into Frankham, can't get it, gets his own board. No, Hinckley clears it. Here comes Smith.
And look, the Amigos have gone a little cold here on the offensive end. I say try to get something easy.
There you go.
There you go. I wasn't thinking that was easy, but then it's like, oh, it's Jackson Smith. So, you know.
Oh, nifty footwork like Jackson Smith and Jigba.
It was nifty.
It was. So nifty gifty. Nifty gifty for 3.
That's the second time tonight.
I know.
Yeah.
Let's see if we can go for the third. And that shot long from Santiago. Here comes Smith again. And we got the third.
Who says there's a drought? It's raining inside the Lifetime Activity Center.
Nice.
Yeah.
In the lake.
Yeah.
The lake's
from
full.
The lake, in the lake.
Christensen sends out Santiago. Williams sends around. Oh, nice ball fake from McKee. I really wanted him to be able to hit that.
Yeah.
That was a nice little ball fake.
A little heat check here for Jackson, maybe.
Fall away, and that's 8 straight.
Lake effect.
As Dane's dropping dimes, we're going to take a timeout. You're watching the Utah Top 50. Well, it's been an 8-point personal run by Jackson Smith to make it a 1-point game, 46-45, as Christensen goes on the reverse and gets a foul call. It'll be a 1-for-2 free throw here for Christensen. Been a nice spurt here for Jackson Smith.
Yeah, he's really started to bring some offense for the Colonels, really help get them going again. After, I don't know, a 5-10 minute spurt where there was just not a lot of offense.
Well, especially in the second half.
Yeah. Oh, here we go. Here we go,
there
Dusty.
There we go. Smith on Bettinger.
This is for all the talk in practice.
He set him up.
Ooh.
Oh, he left it on the short end. Or if you were putting, they call it the amateur side.
They were both smiling for just a glimmer.
Just for a
down
moment.
on this end.
Here we go. Bettinger backing out Smith. Fall away. Mason crawls in.
All right, 2-0 Mason.
Bettinger switches to Garrett. Allen goes hard to the hole, and maybe in January you get the benefit of that call, but not here. As Bettinger sends out to Barnes. No. Oh, nice find inside Christensen.
Didn't look like there was a lot of space, and yet I think there was probably more than there looked. Jordy able to fit one in.
On the drive, Christensen stripped.
Numbers.
Barnes gives it up to Christensen. Yeah, he didn't get that
Never
cleanly.
had it. Yep.
Bettinger with the extra board. Free throw line J won't go. McKee with the rebound, and he's fouled on the golden line.
2 offensive boards on that series. We talk about the rebounding for the Colonels, and it continues to be an area of strength for them in this contest.
And the 1-for-2, good.
I think in a regular contest, you'd see the head coach of the Colonels go all Steve Ballmer, excited like with the rebounding effort we've seen from them tonight. jumping around. And
Which version of Steve Ballmer? Steve Ballmer on the sideline with the Clippers, or Steve Ballmer releasing Windows 96?
Yes.
I couldn't help myself. As the shot won't go. Or Steve Ballmer announcing the new arena. As there we go, it was Christensen. Man, I had it down 46-45.
Giveaway.
An 8-0 run, soon to be, no, missed it. Extra board here, McKee, but he lost it. So a 9-point game. Smith is what got things going for the Amigos. Goes into Frankham. Frankham, quick turn, misses. The foul will go to McKee. McKee says there's no blood, no foul.
Well, it feels like a while since they've really tried to go through Jagger. Started off the game well. But it feels like that's his first shot of the second half. Does he have another one?
I don't think so. As Hinckley with the board off the missed free throw. Out to Smith.
They're protecting that pick and roll game from Jagger much better, are the Colonels. Someone always with them.
Hinckley closed out by Santiago. Garrett goes at Bettinger. And the offensive foul. Yeah, the arm got away.
Talk about some of the frustrations tonight for Isaac Garrett as the Colonels have really tried to get very physical with Isaac tonight.
Well, it was after the putback dunk. He's kind of been, I don't know, more bodied up at that point.
But even before that, right? Because there was the tie-up.
Right.
That happened just before that.
Barnes to Bettinger. Bettinger right to the hole. Up and under, got some space, couldn't finish. Whitehead saves it.
Jagger showing he's got some athleticism to him as he stayed for stride there.
Three, good. Ooh. Erickson. What's not to like? Extra possession, good. Passing, good. Three, good.
That is a look at a 6A Offensive Player of the Year candidate in Caden Erickson. I'm calling it right now.
Hey, even Player of the Year, man. I mean,
could be.
What he's going to have to do to help the Titans and get back to where they were a year ago is Bettinger fouls Smith.
In a wide-open 6A.
Wide open. I mean, you got the returning champs having graduated a bunch of talent outside of a couple players.
You have Cypress.
Mm-hmm. Cypress. Corner Canyon brings back Kozlowski.
Yep. But I don't think there's a prohibitive favorite.
Right. I agree.
You know?
I agree with that. Okay. Obviously, PG will always be in the mix.
Yep.
You got Staley and Burgess.
There's some player movement where you might see some rosters get impacted. Harriman brings back a lot of talent.
Yeah. The Johnson.
See if they can take that next step.
Smith, 4-3.
He's been dialed in from long range tonight. Amigos badly needed that, get him back in single digits.
He's the momentum guy. Bettinger is your consistent.
He's the lunch pail guy, right?
Yeah, but he's the guy. Hey, we need bucket. We need that. Hey, let's get momentum or stop momentum. That's Jackson Smith. Is beautiful ball movement and finish there for Whitehead.
Yeah, the Colonels continue to just manipulate, dominate the rim. Another offensive rebound on the putback. And that's the danger, right? Is you get down and now you start taking quick shots from long range, and then you get looks right at the rim on the other end. How about the block?
Again, you see the off-season work from Garrett getting up on that one and the block on Whitehead. Good thing Coach Barnes isn't here. Where's Matt? Only because he threw the ball away on an inbound. That's what I'm going for.
Yeah.
Hinckley from the corner, lipped out. I'm sure Matt's getting some final rounds in before basketball season starts.
I don't know. It's been dark for a while. I guess they probably had a little bit
Could
of a
have
window,
wrapped up.
huh?
Yeah, or maybe he's at Top Golf just getting a couple in. Could get that one. Whitehead with the board, no, and the rebound taken by Hinckley. Garrett sizing up Whitehead. Goes at him, left hand, and goes. Maybe caught him a little bit on the fall through.
Good patience there by Garrett. Whitehead does a nice job of sticking with him. We've seen that length impact shots tonight. And Garrett, that time the patience, able to get it past him.
Bettinger sizing up Allen, loses it. Sends this ahead to Hinckley. He's got Schroeder, but Barnes with the soccer kick out. As we held up the clock at 1:51. As they're taking orders from the big boss downstairs. Skip pass to Hinckley. Oh, nice drive, and it opens up as Batani lays that one in. Timeout on the floor. We'll be right back. Hey, welcome back. I want to remind you that Athletic Republic is a proud sponsor of Utah Top 50 at any age, any level. Basketball is a physically demanding sport. By focusing on acceleration, agility, power, we can give players in every position the tools to be more successful on game day. 7-point game as the Amigos going to try to empty the tank here on a short bench, and there's a turnover.
It worked.
First opportunity here.
Yeah.
So we're stopping the clock at every stoppage here.
Well, you got a close contest here, right?
Yeah.
So, chance for them to try to play this out. Been a little scoring night tonight. Had our second game, one team getting to the 90s, but really everyone else been kind of in the 60s, and this game trending that same direction.
Smith, a little flat-footed three, and out of bounds off of the Amigos.
Had a bench there, nearly asking for a replay. Talking to the outside official there, wanted a perspective.
Hey, whoa.
Yeah, right.
Bettinger. Head to Barnes. Now Jordy tried to give a different move there to the corner. As McKee, extra pass to Bettinger. And we got a flyby +1 there for Mason Bettinger. Give him the three, and it's a 10-point game. So there's Jackson Smith. Give out to Garrett. And Garrett, tough pass taken away by Barnes. Jordy, pirouette sent out to Erickson. Looking for the dagger. There's your dagger.
Just getting rhythm, right? Caden recognizing he had some space, took the dribble, got his feet set. Hits it.
Hinckley from the corner, won't go. Erickson with the board.
Rebounding tonight, the difference for the Colonels. Again, both ends of the floor. It's tough to keep up with.
Christensen showed some suddenness tonight. As Smith on the other end gets that one out the window. But it'll be the Colonels knocking off the Anaheim Amigos. An impressive 13-point win. Dane, your final thoughts and a selection of a player of the game.
Well, I love the response by the Colonels. Fell down early, came back, and then just were able to hold on. You talk about efforts on both ends of the floor. I don't know if I've got a player of the game tonight, Dusty. I felt like it was a real team effort. I'll go with Braden Whitehead in the paint.
Okay.
But I'll tell you, I mean, it could have been 4 guys because everyone was crashing the boards, offensive, defensive. I thought Whitehead did a nice job defensively tonight. Don't know that he led them in scoring, but did a lot of gritty plays down low against Frankham and company to help the Colonels get the dub.
Again, final score, the Kentucky Colonels 67, the Anaheim Amigos 54. We got another triple header next week right here on KSLSports.com for Utah Top 50. And again, remind you, the championship day is October 25th, Tuesday at Vivint Arena. It'll be an absolute blast. But again, for Kimball Bigelow and Dean Stewart, I'm Dusty Litzer. Thanks for joining us and for watching the Utah Top 50 on KSLSports.com.